Listen up. In this video, I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why I choose to use SLOG3 over any other picture profile. Let's get into it. First order of business, though, I need to shave this off, so ignore it. Reason number 1 is dynamic range. With SLOG3, it's more of a ungraded color, so it is a really flat profile, straight out of camera. Using SLOG3 and the dynamic range of the profile is just at its peak in this camera. It offers the most that you're able to get, and with standard or neutral, you're just not able to even touch the dynamic range of SLOG3. What is dynamic range, you may ask? What dynamic range is the ability for the camera to capture the amount of shadows, the darkest of darks in the image, and the brightest of brights on the other side of the image, and how it's able to capture all of that into one picture. So if I were to use standard picture profile, they say it has significantly less dynamic range, and basically what that means is that if I were to have 2 cameras side by side, one has standard, one has SLOG3, SLOG3 will peak at a higher point because it's able to capture way more information in without having the camera be sensitive to that highlight or shadow. And if you're on a standard or neutral profile, it's a lot less. It's really confusing. Trust me, I know. I'm learning about it too. And that brings me to reason number 2, and that is the ease of use. And it's not as intimidating as I thought it would be. You know, I would always hear people using SLOG3 and thinking to myself, oh, it's got to be such a terrible idea or such a pain and difficult thing to color any of that footage. At a discovery, Scott actually told me about this profile, or just this like kind of adjustment, and it happens in a snap or a flash, and it's just basically you're taking SLOG3 and putting it back to Rec709. SLOG3 back to Rec709 in a matter of seconds. All I do in Final Cut is have the adjustment layer. I put the Rec709 LUT, is what they call it, on it. And actually, if you go to Sony's website, they have these Rec709 LUTs for free. So for your cameras, you're able to get these Rec709 LUTs for free. In fact, I use them. So this is going to be the ungraded footage right here. This is what it looks straight out of camera, and this is the flattest it'll be. But then I drop the Rec709 LUT on right now, and this is what that looks like. And it just kind of brings it from the flat, ungraded image and brings it all the way to more of a pleasing, in fact, kind of like what I'm seeing in my camera right now, because that's what even makes it easier too, is that back then, a couple years ago, in Sony cameras or Canon cameras or Nikon cameras, I guess, if they have log, but anytime you were using a log profile, that you would have to look at the flat profile. You didn't have anything to help you. And cameras are getting so smart nowadays that there's an option in my camera, in the A7S3, in the FX3, in the A6400, I think. Not too sure about that one, but it has the gamma assist, is what it's called. So I have mine on auto, basically to where if I were to switch from SLOG3 to SLOG2 to HLG, whenever, it will automatically adjust the gamma on what I'm seeing on my LCD screen to what it would look like on a Rec709 image. And that's been really helpful. So back to editing. You would drop the Rec709 LUT on next after the ungraded video or whatever you're filming is cut and put into the timeline. I tend to put it like on the clips or just on an adjustment layer above it. Make it even easier. Don't have to change anything. And basically how it works is that you put the Rec709 LUT at full blast. You put it all the way to 100, or at least I do. And then after that, I'll put on my LUT, my preferred LUT that I use for all my videos. I sometimes change it here and there, it depends on how I'm feeling. That's pretty much it. And of course, there are tweaks that are happening with each individual clip on where I'm at, what it looks like, the different scenarios, and if I needed to change the white balance a little bit, the exposure is a little too high or low, whatever. And I always overexpose my image when I use SLOG3 too. Just a general tip. And the third and final reason that I use SLOG3 as my picture profile is the movie-like quality it gives off. Now, if you go to the movies, you may not notice, but whenever they first start filming it, most movies, I'm not going to say all because I'm sure some don't do this, but a lot of the movies film in this kind of loggy, ungraded, really flat image because, like I said earlier, it gives the most dynamic range. If I'm creating movies every single day, aka videos that I post on YouTube, they might not be Avengers or Star Wars or The Passion of the Christ, but they're movies to me. And I feel like it's not a sense, but closeness of whenever I'm using this SLOG3 that I'm able to be more of a filmmaker, be more of a movie maker each and every single day. So those are my 3 reasons. Dynamic range, the ease of use, don't be intimidated by SLOG3, and the movie-like quality that it gives off. What are the reasons you use SLOG3? Or what other picture profile do you use? Tell me down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.